guys, welcome back to my show. In today's episode, once again, I have a wonderful guest with me today. Her name is Saundia. She's an amazing singer-songwriter and has many songs under her belt. One of those songs being Goddess Pose, which is an amazing and very beautiful song. Hi Saundia, how are you today?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being on the show with me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
So please introduce yourself and maybe sing a few lines of your latest song.
Sure. Well, as you said, my name is Saundia. I am a producer, songwriter, and singer here based in LA. And my music is soulful, sensual, spiritual. And I'll sing like a line or two off of my most recent release, which is called Free. And it goes a little something like this. I am free, firm on the earth, feet in the dirt. She holds me. I got life running up my seams, coiled like spring. She holds me. And that's a little bit of that.
Yeah, that's very beautiful. Everyone out there who likes soulful music and music that keeps you thinking, music that brings you life, makes you think more about what's going around you. This song is perfect for you as well as the rest of the music. If you're interested in the music, I will be having her website linked into the show notes, so be sure to check that out. So my next question for you is, how do you write your songs? Like, what's your process?
Ooh, okay, yes. So my process for writing music as it is now is it's very much channeled. So I have a lot of ritual that I enjoy to do before I get into the writing process. I like to, burn a little incense. I like to chant a little bit. I like to dance around, do a little somatic release. Sometimes I whip out the djembe if I'm feeling extra freaky, and I'll just create a lot of energy. I'll do a little meditation, and I will sort of I'll open myself up as a channel to communicate whatever needs to come through me in that moment.
Yeah,
it often starts. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, of course, go ahead.
It often starts for me with melodies, with the actual songwriting. I know some people start more on the production side. Everyone has a different process. Some people start more with lyrics, and for me, it's often with melodies, grooves, things like that, chord progressions sometimes. Typically melodies, though. And yeah, that's kind of how. And then I build it all off of that, with using my voice primarily.
Yeah, I think that's a really good setup. I think, as I said, many people have different songwriting processes. Some of them listen to music by other singers, get into the music groove, and then start building off their own foundations and their own chords and things. Because chords are repetitive. People cannot really claim or copyright chords, and the chords are repetitive, even if you don't mean to do that. I mean, the tune, if it's copied, then that's obviously copyright issue, kind of. But I mean, the melody or the chord per se is kind of up to anyone. Anyone can use that, because the chords are kind of just the base of music.
Yes, absolutely.
So, walk us through a day in your life. I know you said that your songwriting process is a big a big chunk. So what really is in a day of your life where you're not doing singing and songwriting? What are you doing apart from that?
Okay, yeah, sure. So outside of that, I'm also actually a voice teacher. So I work with other singers. I help people train and strengthen their voices, vocal technique, learning how to sing for long periods of time with a healthy voice, and getting the strongest sound as possible. So I work with a lot of other artists and singers on their voices. I also work with other artists and singers on their songwriting. So when I'm not working on my own projects, I'm usually working on someone else's, which is awesome because it really it helps me. It gives me an opportunity to kind of use that other side of myself, which is a big part of me too. And when I'm not doing any of that, I really enjoy putting together community events. I have, for about a little over a year now, I've been hosting artist salons, which is just a place for artists of all kinds, singers, filmmakers, photographers, designers, actors, etc., to come together in community, and we all get to share our work, but more than anything, we really get to connect with each other, inspire each other, support each other, and create friendships. So I enjoy creating space for other artists. I'd say is like a huge part of my life outside of my own music.
Yeah, I think that's really key thing, having connection, not just doing music because of what's in it for you, more of what's in it for everyone, just doing it because
Totally.
you love music, and creating that sense of community and that sense of belongingness that that you can feel, because I think that music and creativity and any kind of creative aspect has this kind of structure that no matter who you are, you can always fit into that mold. And even if you don't you don't have to fit in perfectly. I mean, even if let's say you do not speak English or you do not speak the language of whatever event you're going to, you'll still fit in, because at the end of the day, you all are creative. You all have the same basic fundamental thing in your life, which is being creative and creating beautiful pieces of art, be it through your voice, dancing, movie making, etc.
Absolutely. And sometimes being a creative person, sometimes being an artist can be kind of lonely sometimes, because so much of what we do is just us in a studio, it's us behind a screen, it's us in front of a piece of paper or whatever. So much of the creative process can be kind of isolating. So I do think it is important to come back to the whole purpose of creating the art in the first place, which is connection.
Absolutely. I mean, without that connection, you really don't have anyone to share your music with or share your work with. And the main thing is not just just the fact that you want to share your work, you're making friends and creating the connection. It's also a matter of as you said, you feel sometimes it's kind of a lonely kind of thing where you feel isolated from others. I think just having that connection allows you to ease into other people's environments and understand how they work, and they understand how you work. It's kind of a joint environment where everyone has a role in the atmosphere.
Yes, for sure.
So this is a fun question I have for you, and based on your answer, I'll give you a fun thing to do.
Okay.
How good are you on improv, improv songwriting, where you have to write something and sing it on spot?
I think it depends on the prompt and what I'm trying to do. If I'm trying to be funny, I don't know that I'm I'm great at writing funny songs. I mean, although I think it just depends on what I'm speaking on. If it's something that I have a lot to say about, it might flow a little bit more easily than if it's something that I don't necessarily have a lot of experience or opinion around.
Yeah. So based on that answer, okay, so choose your own word or your own experience or anything you want, anything brief or anything, and maybe turn it into a short kind of how you gave that 1 line, 2 line thing from the start from your own song. Similar to that, just 1 or 2 lines, 3 lines of your own original song, just not been there yet.
Oh gosh. I mean, picking a concept out of the air, it's where do you start,
Absolutely,
it's kind of
yeah.
when you ask someone, like a voice student who comes in and you're like, what do you want to sing? And if they haven't thought about it, it's like suddenly, I don't know any songs, you know? But if I had to pick a concept, honestly, it's hard for me to think of something on the spot that wouldn't be super cheesy.
I mean, it's up to you.
Everything that comes to mind is very corny.
Don't worry about it.
Would come out probably really corny. Because lyrically, that's where I take a little bit more time. Melody is typically what flows a little bit more naturally to me.
Maybe like, how about we try to make this easier? I can give you like maybe like you create just the tune and not the lyrics. So like, kind of like gives you the feel. For example, I could say summer, and then you can create like just the tune to it and not the lyrics. That way it might be one step easier. What do you think?
Sure, if you want to give me a concept or a topic or a couple of words.
How about summer side? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's really hot in LA. So maybe like something on the lines of summer.
Of summer? Yeah, sure. This actually might end up being pretty silly. Oh my gosh. Honestly, it's kind of tough to be on the spot. With this. Okay, this will be just something a little silly about summer in LA right now. It's summer in LA. I ain't coming out to play. You think you'll see me, but you'll not, 'cause it's too darn hot.
Oh wow, that's really good. I think like
I quoted a little Cole Porter at the end there, but you know, I don't think he'll mind.
No, I think this is really pretty. I think like if I would have maybe told you in a little bit more advance, I think you could have literally like had like a whole song ready for me. That was really good, I think.
Oh yeah, sure. Oh, that's sweet. No, yeah, sure. It's just sometimes anyway, you know how it is on the spot. Sometimes your mind goes blank.
Yeah, of course. I think
but it's always a fun exercise.
But I think it's really cool, like how, like, you know, despite being put on the spot. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That was a problem.
You did really well.
Oh,
I mean, like, I think it's just a matter of like creative choices. As I said earlier, like, you know, being creative just means that, like, you know, you have so many ideas and so many, like, you know, things. That's why, like, you know, if the same idea if you gave to someone who does photography, obviously with photography, if you're in an interview, you can't really, you know, do that on prompt because, you know, you need to think about what to click because that's more of a visual, so you can't do it on an audio interview. But with singing, I think obviously it takes a lot of time. Like even for me, I could do it if I have like a music track with me to do it. So like for me as well, like it takes time. But I really love what you did with that song, and maybe you should consider, like, you know, doing something with it, you know. And I'll be sending you the episode link as well, so you can listen to that back again, and maybe you might turn it into a song. Who knows?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Anyways, thank you so much for being on the show with me today. I had a great time chatting with you.
No problem at all. Thank you again for having me.
Thank you. Everyone out there who's listening right now, I'll be putting up Saundia's website in the show notes as I said earlier, and yeah, feel free to check out her music as well as her social media if you want to connect with her. And I'll see you all next week. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a very nice day.